Beautiful. Hello, everybody. I'm Ron. This is Andy.
Hello.
It is November 2023, and this is Townhall for Concrete CMS. Here we are, checking in, letting you know what's going on in the world of concrete. Actually, not the world of concrete. That's a trade show that we once went to. It's all about construction stuff. The world of concrete CMS, building material for websites. Let's not get into the IP issues. I think this month is going to be pretty short and sweet. So if you got something that you'd like to ask us, questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you better throw them up now because we've got a pretty light agenda that we're going to blaze through and get back to work. So that said, jumping right into the news, couple things to talk about. First off, point releases are happening. So last month we talked about committing to a more formal monthly point release schedule and what would go into point releases versus minor releases and major releases and how we thought that was all going to go. And said we were going to do a first Tuesday point release for the foreseeable future, just to make sure that bugs and security issues and whatnot were getting addressed. We also committed to extend our, we're calling it extended security maintenance for version 8. I want to correct any perceived confusion around that and the difference between LTS, long-term support. We're not going to do everything that we come up with in version 9 is not working its way back to version 8. So there may be, low-grade bugs or, internal security things that are like, yeah, it's a nice to have, but it's not a super important issue. That's not working its way into version 8. What we promised a year ago and what we just renewed our commitment on is if there is a critical security issue, which to us means an external actor can gain some type of privilege against your website. Those issues, which incidentally are far and few between, perhaps non-existent, those get resolved in version 8 and will for all of 2024 at least. So to that end, we released a point release both in the 8 branch and the 9 branch. Anything in there that jumps out as newsworthy to you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, in the version 8 branch, we did. It's interesting. Like just to add on to what you said, we will issue security updates for any vulnerabilities that fall under those categories, like you said, Franz, which are very very infrequent. But we may do more than that. It's not guaranteed. And in this version of 8.5, which was 8.5.13, there are a few minor ranked security issues that we have fixed. We've also fixed them in version 9. Again, not guaranteeing that those will always be 100% in sync. Just because something is tagged a security issue doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be fixed in version 8, unless it is, of course, rise to that level of critical or very serious. And so we did do a version 8.5.13 and a version 9.2.2. 9.2.2 is nice. It has a little bit more in it than perhaps a point release will going forward, because it has been several months since we've done 9.2.1. So there are a number of behavioral improvements and some new features, like we added the switch language option to the top navigation bar block. We've got some fixes for express blocks when using that with search, page search, any number of little things like that. A bunch of bug fixes and security improvements as well. Going forward, you can expect that the point releases will still be happening, of course, on the first Tuesday of every month, but they won't be as large because we won't be waiting many months to get them like we have for this one. So definitely check that out. Check out version 8.5.13 if you're still on version 8. And it's an exciting new paradigm that we're working with now.
Yeah. We try to actually mop the upstairs every time we do it too. We're cleaning things up, making sure that we actually get to the bottom of all those little bits we should be cleaning up. Yeah, I think that's all I've got on the point releases. Good job, Andy. We definitely kind of changed the way that we do that, so we have a bunch more automated tooling around it, which makes it significantly more efficient for us to do so. Also I can mention as part of updating those tools, there's a bunch of releases to the core code base that's running Concrete CMS itself.com, and some changes to Amazon, the way they power some very old mailing scripts that we had. And so if you were not getting email alerts on your support threads for your extensions, if you're running add-ons and themes and using the built-in support stuff for that, you might not have gotten email alerts over the last week or two. I believe that is now resolved and resolved in the way where it will stay resolved. So double check that, and should be good. Other bit of news I wanted to chat about a little bit, and I'm sure you'll be seeing more about this in upcoming town halls. I didn't want to thought about sharing comps, but make you wait until December. But we are finally have cleared off the slate to really focus on relaunching the marketplace. So very excited about that. We have built a new marketplace already for the demo sites, the Skyline sites. If our kind of SaaS hosting platform, and you go to Concrete CMS and you say, hey, get started, and you just get a site that you don't get the back end to, there are some extensions you can already install and they just work. So there already is infrastructure, we call it the depot, for a new revised marketplace. Current marketplace that you see at the public website is, boy, we wrote that in like 2022,
I believe.
Like,
the current marketplace, yeah.
The old one.
But
yeah,
from 2009 to 2013, I think, was the real period of like
real push.
Sustained,
yeah, it's been a decade.
It's been a decade.
So yeah, it is time to walk away from that code base. We've got a new place that we're moving stuff, and we're kind of changing strategies a little bit, or expanding strategies. And when we first launched the marketplace ages ago, it was very front and center to everything that we did here at Portland Labs. We did this type of video show once a week. Andy and I and the people from our staff were in there approving add-ons and themes in real time. We had our own extensions in there that we were selling. It was pretty front and center and central to the business. Over time, that kind of shifted. We built the peer review board. We started handing off more responsibility to them. We automated a lot of those tools. We stopped selling our own extensions. We kind of just made a lot of our stuff free, and went off and did a whole bunch of project work that has been good for the project and helped mature the core and that kind of thing. We're now looking at getting more involved in the marketplace again. So we've got a list of our own packages that we're expecting to put in there and sell. We're looking at, kind of expanding the scope of this marketplace. So when you think of the kind of the market that concrete creates, it's actually really big. There's lots of stuff that is built with concrete and using concrete and around concrete that doesn't show up in our marketplace today at all. My go-to example for this is one of the most popular e-commerce solutions for concrete isn't in our marketplace because kind of some of the support requirements around listings being in our marketplace. If you're gonna sell it, it's gonna automatically install. You got to provide support, and the people behind that e-commerce package, I think, understandably, are like, it's difficult for me to provide support for a one-time cost that is going to be too high for someone to try, but too low to actually make business sense. So it just sits there on GitHub. We want to expand the marketplace to do a better job of describing everything that's going on in the world, the larger market, with concrete. So that means, yes, there'll be add-ons and themes. We will also have a section called integrations. Technically, probably very similar to an add-on, but from a business standpoint, an integration makes my concrete site work with some SaaS provider that does something else I need. Maybe it's authentication. Maybe it's I'm bringing files in from a workspace kind of management tool. But hey, I want to integrate this piece of software with that piece of software. In the last more than 10 years since we've been doing that has become pretty standard fare in the world of kind of SaaS software, and we need a single spot to talk about that. Mm-hmm. We want to talk about platforms that are built with concrete. There are full-on solutions out there that use concrete as their underlying glue that are serving some niche business. And I'm going to learn to say business today. Niche business But you don't hear about that on our site. So, is that something we're going to sell in the marketplace? No, like we're just going to think of it almost as a case study kind of list. But we want the marketplace to be a clear, high-level picture of this is the whole market that Concrete is serving, and help the business user connect to integrations, platforms. Hosting providers should be in there. Even service providers should be in there. We're not going to get into the world of Upwork and trying to like manage the actual back and forth and delivery. I don't need to make a dime off of every dollar that a service provider offers around Concrete. But I think we could do much better than we do today, where we basically tell people, hey, go to the forums and post to the job section if you want help. That's a pretty big barrier of entry to a business user that says, look, I've got a Concrete site, or I want a Concrete site, and I'm looking for a certified integration partner who can help me build something. So I want all of our partners to have listings in our marketplace. Those kinds of ideas. So I don't want to go on and on too much. I said this is going to be a short town hall, and obviously it probably makes a lot more sense to show you stuff as I'm talking about it. But I did want to put it out there. We are focused on this. We have expanded our scope and interest in getting this done in a timely fashion. You should see it start to emerge in the new year. There'll be some cool stuff in there. It'll all have a subscription model available as well. So that'll be good for everybody. And we're excited. Cool stuff. So it's fun to get to work on stuff for the community. Yeah.
Exciting.
Okay. Let's forge ahead. That's all the news I got. As you know, Concrete is open source. We are only here because there is a large community that, as I just mentioned, we're going to do a better job of explaining what everyone's doing. But we do take a little time every month to thank the people who have gone out of their way to volunteer their time to make Concrete a better tool set. So, Andy, can you do some shout outs for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks this month to John the Fish, M. Locati, P. Zostock, CCM Enlil, Heflamy, and First Thomas for submitting code into GitHub, and for their contributions getting bugs and feature requests identified in GitHub. Thanks to Marco Chioni, Spectred, Ross Money, D. Buer, Axel OCZ, Morier, Lahick, Hishi, Kurt Cunin, First Thomas, George RTL, Ashish AX, Gutig, African Forest, and Numinous. Thank you to all those who contributed code and issues this month. It's making the core better.
Nice. Thank you very much. In addition, there's a special award that we do every month where we shout out a individual who has made a contribution that's valuable to the community. We give them a special badge on their profile called the Golden Baton, and we actually give them $250 worth of marketplace credit as well. This month, the Golden Baton goes to Dave Buer, who I think you actually just mentioned in issues as well. Here is a real issue that got submitted that I think has been resolved, and maybe not yet, but it's a good issue to have. It's a new one. Thank you. I've seen you around the community and appreciate what you're doing. So good work, and look out for that badge and those marketplace credits. Okie dokie. We're wrapping it up, gang. The last thing that we have this month is a show and tell. Jess found this site that she is going to throw up on the screen here as we DJ, VJR. There it is. Assurance Wireless. So this is a Concrete site for a federal lifeline assistance program. This is available to individuals who qualify based on federal or state-specific eligibility criteria. Basically a way to keep in touch with folks that could use some cell phone service and maybe have a hard time getting that phone in the first place. So a worthy cause, pretty traditional website. It does have this cool check availability feature that we thought was worth pointing out, where you get to pick what state you're in. You can put in your zip code and email, which you don't have to share in front of everybody. And when you hit submit, it actually takes you to a page that tells you, you can get this. I don't know if you can get it in Florida, Jess. I know you can get it in Oregon because I filled it out earlier today. So there's some logic going on there that decides yay or nay based on your inputs. And I'm sure you get a follow-up email on how you actually get those benefits. So Thanks for Assurance Wireless for choosing Concrete. Okie dokie, gang. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Banners. Nope, that's old stuff that's just hanging around StreamYard. All right. I believe that is all the news that's fit to print. I'm gonna save your time and mine and not drone on and on forever. We will see you guys in a month for the December Town Hall. Can't believe that we're almost done with 2023. Very exciting. And yeah, looking forward to getting this new marketplace built and forging ahead into 2024.
Sweet.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.